Hi, Jay. I'm
Hi.
Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you. Thanks for taking the time. Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to Rob Peace for people who don't know anything about the film. What can they expect going in?
Yeah, my name is Jay Will, and I played Rob Peace in the film Rob Peace. What you can expect from the film is just twists and turns of commitment to self, commitment to family, commitment to higher source, what it takes to stay connected to in the midst of just all type of obstacles in life.
How familiar were you with the story? I mean, I know Jeff
Yeah.
Hobbs' book, very critically acclaimed. Had you had a chance to read it before? Was it only when you got the script? And I guess knowing that this is Chiwetel's, sophomore feature, written and also helmed by him must have been an incredible opportunity, a bit of a no-brainer for you. But what was the appeal for you coming on board?
Oh, it was basically I knew nothing about his life, unfortunately. I knew nothing about anything. I came from down south, so I guess it was a different circulation of news and history there that didn't make it up or didn't make it down. But once I got a hold of the script Chiwetel wrote, I just felt for me it was I had mad connections of my own with my own life, just my own upbringing, where I came from, how I got to where I got to in my life. I feel like it's just a direct reflection, yet a different set of circumstances. I didn't go to school for science, but I went to a school that was really serious about what they were, the craft of it. But again, I felt fish out of water, a different environment for me, yet having to adapt to the circumstances there. The parallels there just made me feel so inclined to it once I read the film.
And how did you find your version of Rob? How did you find the character? Did you return to the book? Were you relying on the script? Was it a lot of conversations with Chiwetel? Because it is a really complex character. And I love the fact that it is kind of busting a lot of stereotypes and turning things upside down. There's a lot of nuance and a lot of layers there. So how did you find your Rob?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, it started off with finding Rob's mom and speaking to her, it personally one on one about her positioning on the film being made first, how she feels personally about her son's story being written about, where she is now exactly about, because I didn't want to come in with all of my like creative, just juices, just trying to flow it here, until I, yield to exactly what's going on. I want to inhibit that so I can take in what's in front of me. So I spoke to her and I went to Jersey, had a conversation with the family just to ask if I can get the blessing to play Rob. Once I was in the room he grew up in, I felt a lot of those things that I would have gotten in my own personal detective work as an actor. Being in that space, feeling the energy of all of, that history, situation happened there, it all happened in the cipher of that address. My step two was once I got what you would tell, we just broke down the script. We broke down all of the scientific words that I didn't know. It's just I didn't know nothing about that. But that's my job, and I started to research it and learn it to a point where it was just like, bah, 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 and once we got to filming it, then it became more about bringing what I am and who I am to the script. Because no matter what, I can't be Rob. I forfeit that desire. But what I can be is myself and bring out elements that I know Rob had within his life.
And what a fellow cast to be working alongside. I mean, Mary J. Blige, Camilla Cabello, I mean, Chiwetel himself, not only being behind the camera, but also playing a father. What was it like working with these people? And what was that collaboration like? And how did that also help you, get into your character too?
Yeah, just recognizing what piece of the puzzle everybody plays. Chiwetel, such a visionary aspect of it. He knew the film in and out. He knew what he wanted. I remember he showed up on set to direct in right what they call cut. He's getting ready for his scene and he's talking different. His demeanor's different. And I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, and then he goes back and he's directing again, and it was inspiring just to see. It felt like a whole bunch of gears just turning to build something. And I was one gear myself. Camilla, her vulnerability that she brought to it, just the soul that she brought to the character, inspired me as well. Mary, the fire that she brought when we had those real tense scenes going back and forth, just her digging and digging and trying to find more of that place. And myself, just inspiring myself just to go further, just by my ensemble here. Everybody's going so hard. I don't want to be I'm trying to carry the whole film on my shoulders, which is an honor, to be with Chiwetel to do that. So overall, very inspiring.
And why do you think this is such an important story to tell? And what do you hope people take away? Because I do feel like it's taking a lot of complex issues and really humanizing. And I guess the fact that we are seeing it through the lens of Jeff's, being his roommate, and, how he brings out the character. And so issues that I think we still find difficult to talk about, the fact of these societal structures that can hold people back, this idea of social mobility, which is still so relevant, I think, particularly in the US. And I think it just allows people a way in that sometimes things can get so polarized and can be difficult for people to talk about. So I feel like these sorts of stories can be so important in helping people understand the complexity of the issues at hand.
Man, for sure. And you touch on a good point there. The humanizing of it all, just humanizing the bouts of survival. We all go through it. We all go through it. And I think starting there, all of the racial things and, the systematic things, those are more so external, external consequences. But the gaping hole in the drive of each one of us is what unfortunately gets us to fortunate or unfortunate situations. And I think if we take a look at that, the feeling or the thing that causes the product of the thing, that is what we have to focus on, because that is the prevention is better than the cure. So if we take a look at our actions and then take a look at our inner selves, our actions will change.
And your performance has been so lauded already, being at Sundance, now you're getting a release here in the UK. I mean, do you feel like this has been like, I don't know, your big break? And, what has this experience taught you?
It's taught me just to keep my head down and, stay humble and keep going forward, and not get too consumed in the moment to the moment, but stay forward in the moment, And I don't know if this is my big break. I haven't thought about that question yet, but I do feel like it is a breakthrough within myself for so many different reasons.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with me. And I really can't wait for everyone else to have the chance to see Rob Pece. Thanks so much.